Blog Talk Radio.
Sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
And liftoff on another Saturday. Welcome everyone to Tarot Today Radio. I'm Dax Carlisle from the Tarot Guild, now in our 16th year. I'm a tarot advisor, numerologist, and life coach coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. And joining me, as always, it's my fabulous co-host. She's a certified tarot master, crystal Reiki master, and vice president for certification for the Tarot Guild. Here she is live from Amarillo, Texas, the fabulous Mary Brown. Hey, Mary. How's it going?
Hey, Dax. Hey, good. Hey, everybody. Happy
Psychic Saturday.
Happy Tarot Today on Saturday. How's it going?
See, I don't get tongue twisted about it. I just say Psychic Saturday. You know, Happy Psychic Saturday, like we used to do. For those that are new to in the audience, if you didn't know, we used to call the show Psychic Saturday, and every Saturday we'd go Happy Psychic Saturday, and we changed the name in the beginning of the year to Tarot Today Radio, which is actually the original name, the first name of our first radio show back in January 2010. And it was our 10-year anniversary, so we said, hey, let's bring the title back. We even brought the music back. Oh, I want to mention something about that, too. And then we were like, oh, wait, we can't say Happy Psychic Saturday anymore. I'm like, well, yes, we can. It's still psychic. We're still on Psychic Talk Radio.
I still want to say it.
Yes, and I'm going to every Saturday. Oh, and you know, the music started playing up, and it's funny because we do shows, other shows the rest of the week, and we have the Psychic Talk Radio music, and for nostalgic purposes, we said, hey, let's bring back the original theme, and still to this day, every time we're going on the air and it plays, I'm not ready for it. I'm expecting the Psychic Talk one, and then the Tarot Today Radio one plays, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Oh, cool. Because I love that song. I love the music.
Me too.
Really
I'm always dancing.
Absolutely. And we are a live call-in show. Every Saturday, it's open lines, and you can call in and chat with us, and anything that's on your mind or questions about anything psychic or tarot or numerology or Reiki, energy healing, hypnosis, angels. I mean, you name it, crystals. Between Mary and I, we have everything covered. And you can also call in for a mini reading at 714-816-4628. And I see a few people popping on now. It's a little bit quiet today. I don't know. I think it's Memorial Day weekend, and now that things are opening up again, people are actually getting out there, getting out and about. But I think we'll get some people calling in. I see a few lines lighting up now. We take the calls in the order that they come in, folks. So get in the queue now and secure your spot. 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad. If you don't press 1, we're going to assume you're just listening to the show. But if you press 1, it'll put you up in the queue in the order that you called in, and we'll know that you want to go on live with us. And you can also join us in the chat room at thetarotguild.com/chat. Our weekend shows are sponsored by the Tarot Guild, the international organization for tarot lovers, students, and tarot professionals since 2004. God, 16 years. That's amazing.
Wow.
thetarotguild.com/chat. Yeah, join us in the chat room. You can comment on the show. You can ask for a mini reading from there. What's been going on with you, Mary?
Well, I've been having fun with my crystals and my tarot cards, and I had a really cool thing happen the other day. Because we don't talk about it much on the shows, and I think I'm going to have to cover it in an upcoming episode of There's a Rock for That, my other show. But I also douse with a pendulum. I have dowsing rods as well, but I tend to use a pendulum. And you know what, Dax? My favorite trusty pendulum is the one I got when I was visiting you guys in Tucson. Remember when we went to that shop and
yes.
I went all the way
awesome.
back because I saw it? Yeah, and that Howlite pendulum has become my go-to. And the other day, a couple days ago, I got to use it because my husband lost something, and he spent hours looking for it. He's like, it was right here. You know that feeling where you feel like you just set something down, you turn your back, and then it's gone, and it's like, where did it go? And so he's looking, he's spending hours, and I finally asked him, I'm like, well, do you want me to douse for it with my pendulum and see if I can find it? And he's like, sure. I don't know how much confidence he had that I would find anything, but in the way you douse, the way I do, at least with the pendulum, is by asking a series of yes/no questions, like, is it in the bedroom? Is it in the living room? And I only had to ask 3 questions, and gosh darn it, I found it. And it's like, no wonder he couldn't find it, because one of our dogs had apparently snuck off with it, thinking it was a toy or something, and stuck it underneath her bed. And I asked what room it was in. It was in the bedroom. And then I kind of divided the room into sections. It's like, is it in the middle part of the room? And the only thing in the middle part of the room was the dog bed. And I got a yes on that. I pick up the dog bed, and there it is. Amazing. I was impressed. I was like, wow.
I'm impressed, that's for sure. I didn't even know you doused.
Do what? What?
I didn't even know you did that.
Dousing. Yeah, I do that, but the reason you don't know I do it, other than you were there when I bought this pendulum, is that nobody calls me to douse for something. When I douse for things, it really is usually because I lost something, or maybe I'll do it just kind of out of curiosity. Like, remember when, Flight 370 went down, and,
sure.
all kinds of psychic readers and everybody was using, different, trying to get an idea of where it might be, that plane that they never found. And so I did map dowsing with that, with like a map of the world, and just kind of, with the pendulum. But I love dowsing. I just don't get to do it very much. I don't have a reason to. It's weird. You don't draw like a douse of the, how you can draw a card of the day, like I do, by the way, every day on our Psychic Talk Radio group on Facebook. If you haven't joined, you should. But yeah, with tarot, with oracle cards, it's like you tend to use them every day. You can use them every day. Just draw a card every day. But it's like, I'm not going to douse every day. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't use it as often. So I was surprised that I found anything, to tell you the truth. But that was super fun.
I think what it was is, like, when you bought the pendulum, I knew that you used pendulums. And I know, a lot of our tarot readers use pendulums, but I didn't know you used it for dowsing. I thought you used it for other reasons. There's a lot of uses for pendulums,
Oh, yeah.
And when someone says dowsing, I always think of the dowsing rods. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think of a pendulum.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have dowsing rods, but I rarely use those too. But pendulums, yeah, I mean I have a bunch of different ones. I kind of collect them. I kind of love them. And yeah, I use them for Reiki too. I use them for animal Reiki especially.
Oh, and I wanted to mention, because you brought up the Psychic Talk Facebook group, which you can join. It's all about our shows at psychictalk.net/Facebook, or if you're on Facebook, search Psychic Talk Radio, I think is the one you want to search. You're looking for the group. But also we have the Tarot Guild group, and we just hit over 6,200, I think it's 6,219 members now, and it's really starting to heat up with some great conversations, and it ties into our show topic today. So I was on the Facebook group for the Tarot Guild, and on Facebook you can search Tarot Guild and look for the group, and the easiest way to make sure that you're on the right group is open a new tab in your browser, type in the URL to our website, thetarotguild.com/Facebook. That'll take you right over there. And there's a lot of great questions coming up now. One of the questions that a lot of people responded to was, do you use tarot spreads? And we were all discussing that, and I thought, that's a great topic, mini topic, to bring up on the Saturday show on Tarot Today Radio. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm looking forward to that, as well as taking your phone calls. Also did the card of the day and the numerology. I like to do the numerology of the day, and the day is the 23rd. 2 + 3 is 5, but the whole date, May 23rd, 2020, adds up to 14. 1 + 4 is 5. So it's like double 5 energy. That's that adventurous. I can see people going out. It's Memorial Day weekend and being adventurous, tubing down the river, all the things we used to do on Memorial Day, and cookouts and, travel and all this stuff, now that the restrictions are kind of lifting in a lot of parts of the country. And I also got the 6 of Cups as the card of the day, and it follows 5. So 5, in addition to that high energy and adventurous spirit, there's the other side of the coin with 5. In numerology, we say it's the chaos number. And so what 6 is when you get beyond the 5 in the numbers 1 through 9, and it's a return to harmony and balance, you see. So it's got that nice thing there where you've got that 5 energy from the numerology, but you'll also be able to balance it out, I think, today with the card of the day. The 6 of Cups. Cups, of course, is water, so emotions. It's often a gift received, or nostalgia, happiness, pleasure from a renewed friendship, often from the past, a gift from an admirer. And my favorite one, new opportunities. It's also that concept of new opportunities. And if you combine that with the high energy of the 5 day and date, you can really make a lot happen today. Did you do a card of the day, Mary?
Yes, I did. I pulled an oracle card, and again, that's posted on the Psychic Talk Radio group, which you can find by going to psychictalk.net/upcoming, or just search for it on Facebook, Psychic Talk Radio. And the card I drew is from the Eternal Crystals Oracle cards by Jade Sky, with beautiful artwork by Jane Marin, and it's blue laced agate crystal is the card I drew, and that's connected to communication, the throat chakra. What's weird, Dax, is that in this particular deck, the cards are numbered, and it's number 6, which you were just talking about, which is kind of funny, even though it's a 5 day, but so 6 somehow is coming up a lot. But the wonderful thing about blue lace agate,
me.
that we always have these synchronicities. I love it. And blue lace agate, probably a lot of people have seen it. It's usually kind of a light blue. It's got the different lines in it, like different shades of blue and white. And, because of the blue color is why it's associated with the throat chakra, and they call it the communication crystal, the stone of communication. But it helps you to, be able to like express yourself, be able to, speak your truth. And whether or not, you feel like you have to say that to other people or just say it out loud or even just write it down. The whole point is to like be able to like not keep things bottled up and to be able to express them. Blue lace agate's got this really like kind of gentle energy, so it allows you to kind of release any fears that you have about like being judged, or sometimes we get nervous if we're doing any sort of public speaking, that kind of thing. So if you have something coming up where you're going to have to be talking about either a difficult topic with people that you really care about their opinion, or you're nervous about speaking in front of a group of people, even if that's like on YouTube or online, having a piece of blue lace agate around can be beneficial. And that's the card of the day and the crystal of the day, really, if you think about it.
There we go. We got the crystal of the day. Wow. Well, we haven't done that. We should start doing that, the crystal of the day.
Right.
I know on your show, you of course, there's a rock for that. Of course you do a crystal of the day.
Yeah. I think I'll start doing that. It's kind of fun.
We should say crystal of the week, though. I do that on Friday.
Yeah.
I do my card of the day and the numerology of the day, but because we do the show once a week, I told Dr. Rose, instead of calling it the mantra of the day, we should say the mantra of the week, and people should test it out for a week and then call back next Friday and let us know.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea when you think of, especially for mantras where, that repetition sometimes is what really kind of gets it working.
Right. Okay, so the wind's picking up here a little bit. I'm out on my patio. It's a gorgeous day in Tucson, Arizona. Let me give out that phone number again, 714-816-4628. This is the time to get into the caller queue, folks, because we're going to be going to calls in just a little bit here. We're going to talk a little bit about this topic, but give us a ring, 714-816-4628. Press number 1 on your dial pad as soon as you get through. If you're Skyping in, open the Skype app, open the dial pad, press 1. That's how you do it, folks. And we'll be getting to the call shortly. But, do you use tarot spreads? So this is what I was surprised and what I thought, we really should do this question on the show. I was shocked at the comments to that question on the group, Mary, because the vast majority said no. And I did not expect that. I was expecting people to say, oh, yes, I use these 50 spreads, and I always use the Celtic Cross, or I always do this, or or I have my 3 go-to spreads, or I use a simple 3-card spread for everything. But no, the majority of people said they don't use a spread at all.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
That was surprising. Well,
surprising.
I think it is kind of surprising in a sense. I think what it shows is like just kind of how, how tarot has become more. I think it's connected to the idea of it becoming more popular. Now it's no longer just sort of restricted to like certain little small demographics like it was for so long. Now that it's become more mainstream, you're going to have people that are going to probably not be that interested in using like kind of some of the classic spreads, because it's like, I think it's also so many new people to tarot too. It's like, okay, first, learning the cards, on the one hand, and then learning a spread on the other hand. I think it's just more accessible if you just work with the cards without a spread. But and at the same time, it's like I definitely use spreads. When I don't use spreads, it's either when I'm drawing like a card of the day, but a lot of times I don't use a spread when I'm just kind of having a conversation using the tarot. And it's just kind of like
right, free form. I call it free
form, right. Yeah, free form is a perfect description for it, because sometimes, I have one friend in particular that will call me, and they don't, they're calling just to talk, but they really want a reading, but they really don't want to say they want a reading. It's a kind of weird thing, and we've gotten into this habit over the years.
I can picture that happening, though.
Right, and so we've gotten into this habit over the years where, we'll be on the phone, and I'll just, pull out the cards, and as the person's talking, and then, I'll let them know that I did that and what comes up and how, it's kind of interesting of how it kind of gels with the conversation. So I think either way, but, look, as far as like me, on a regular basis when I'm working, when I'm doing readings for other people, I use a spread. I use my own spread. I don't use the Celtic cross spread, and I don't.
Sure.
Because I work for a reading service, and my readings could be anywhere from like 3 minutes to 2 hours long, depending on how long of a reading somebody wants. So I can't read a Celtic cross in 3 minutes.
That's right. And then there's also there's also the readings we do on the radio shows. We only have a few minutes with each caller, so we have to use something that allows us to do it fast.
Yeah, I call it tarot speed reading. So if you have like a small spread that allows you to get like a big picture in a short period of time. For me, that's usually like a 5-card spread.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and doing
sometimes.
Right. And I think, for every reader, it evolves over time, and it certainly did for me. I discovered a really great 5-card reading spread that doubled as a yes-no spread and also gives you a ton of information in just 5 cards. And it was perfect for the radio. I adopted it to the radio. I made some of my own changes to it. Mm-hmm. And that, over the years, became my go-to thing, even with regular clients, And so for me, I kind of do both. I don't use a spread, but I do use a spread, but not, for the whole reading. So I'll tell everybody how I do it, card, because I wanted to know what the tarot said about tarot readings. And this is something you might want to do in the background there, if you got a second, Mary. Pull a card or 2 or 3. See what you're getting. So I pulled a card. I want to know what the tarot thinks of tarot spreads, and I got confusion. Yes,
that's funny.
I got the 7 of Cups, which is a card of fantasy and illusion and confusion and too many choices, or choices in general, but And I think new readers can benefit from using spreads because it's giving them a context for each card that they're laying down, not just the card itself, but also what's the position, what's that meaning, like this position's in the future, this position's in the past, this position's foundation, whatever type of spread you're using. And I think it helps in the beginning, but then people can eventually, take the training wheels off at some point. However, that said, I think with new readers, what can happen is that's where this confusion card comes in, is that, there's a book out there, 1001 Tarot Spreads. And, if you're a new reader, it's like, okay, I'm supposed to use a spread. A lot of books have told me about this Celtic cross thing that I'm supposed to use. It's 10 cards. and there's the interrelation between the individual cards as well as the spread, as well as the placements. And oh my God, that one spread is confusing, let alone if you, oh, okay, here's 20 different spreads, and what one do I use now, you know?
Yeah.
And even doing this, you know, many, many decades, I would not be able to hold even 5 or 6 spreads in my head. I'd have to look at. I'd have to have like a cheat sheet, like a note, a list of spreads. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do this one with it. Yeah. So I finally gave up on that, you know, and just started using one spread. I had actually developed a version of the Celtic Cross that was 3 lines of 3 cards. I called it Tarot Squared, and I used that for many years before I came across this 5-card spread that I use now, and started using it on the radio. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to start using this with clients. And so what I do is I pull the 5-card spread like I do on the radio, and apply it to their questions or questions, and give them the information I'm getting, and that'll answer their question or bring up other questions. Often that's what happens, you know. And the same thing with the numerology, because I always do their numerology first and give them a full report with the 9-number chart. And when I start the reading, before I even shuffle the cards, I go through the entire numerology chart with them. That often actually answers a lot of their questions and brings up new ones, right? And so then I pull this 5-card spread, and we go from there. And as the questions morph and or new questions come up, I just freeform pull cards. Now, occasionally we'll get to something that's very, yes, no. And so I'll pull another 5-card spread, get the yes, no answer, go into the details of the 5 cards, and then go back to freeform where I'm just, pulling cards. Sometimes I pull individual cards. More frequently, I pull 3 at a time. So I pull 3, and then they have another question. I pull 3. Sometimes I pull single cards as clarifiers. Like I'll do the 5-card spread, and then they'll have something where it's not a full question, but it's a little bit of a clarification on something within that spread. I'll pull a single card for clarification, So that's basically what I do now. So I sort of use a spread, but only in the beginning, and then I don't use a spread.
Well, it's kind of funny, I pulled a card just now too, like what the tarot think, right? You got the 7 of Cups. I got the Fool card, and to me, the Fool card kind of really fits with what you're saying. Like, there's all these different, possibilities. There's all these different ways to do it. You got to kind of go with your gut instinct, and not be, kind of limited. That to me, the Fool is like, kind of that idea of unlimited potential. So it's like it works either way. It works with spreads. It works without spreads. What I ended up doing, because I work on the phone, and those readings sometimes can just keep evolving. I do like kind of a 5-card spread that I came up with. It just kind of got like the center of it, like really representing like what the person wants to know, what we're talking about, and then kind of the card above that center card and the card below it kind of gives you an idea of like what what the influences are, what's like the kind of atmosphere of that this question is centered in, and also, what are like kind of the underlying forces, maybe the subconscious kind of activity going on. And then we look at the past, and we look at, the potential future with it. And what I end up doing is I ended up developing that into a 3-layered spread for longer readings. So I use the same 5 card with those positions, but then, all the layers to it. So it's really like 15 cards if it's a longer reading, but those added layers give you more context for each of those aspects of the question. So I don't know. I kind of love doing that, and I like the idea of having that kind of flexibility,
Right,
that's
and
the problem.
I think if you look
I was just going to add.
let me just throw this in quick, and then you can finish. I just wanted to quickly say that I can see a lot of similarity between what we're doing.
Yeah. So it works. It works for you. It works for me. One thing I can say that I've had to do a few times, though. We talk about the Celtic cross, and Lord knows why. That spread persists. A lot of people swear by it, but I wind up doing a lot of readings for other readers on their readings that they've done doing a Celtic cross. Okay, that's weird, right? Because when you look at the position, right? When you look at the positions, right, of the Celtic cross, you have that one that's like represents hopes and fears, and the question, sometimes the cards that come up there, or even that position itself, kind of throws people for a loop. They're like, well, I got this, card here. I got they'll get something like, say, the Nine of Swords in the hopes and fears position, but yet, they're not able to, like, kind of see how it really fits into what they're trying to find out by doing this spread. And so I have a lot of times, I would say like at least 20 different times that I have been hired to do readings for people who just want clarification on their Celtic cross spread. So to me, like, that's kind of a signal that, like, that's not always a very effective spread for people.
Right. But I think the big takeaway today on this topic is that there is no right way to do it. So if anybody out there, you're learning tarot and somebody tells you, oh, you have to use the Celtic cross, or using spreads, any spreads is no good, or, any of the opinions, remember, it's their opinion, okay?
Yeah.
There is no right way to do this. Basically, are you getting accurate information? Are you getting information that helps you? Are you getting information that helps your client? That's all that really matters.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is like the Fool card. Anything, anything can work. It's just kind of like, what is going to work for you? How are you getting good results? And if you're getting good results using a spread, terrific. If you create your own spread, terrific. If you use the Celtic cross and it works for you, great. But if that just doesn't resonate, that's totally okay too. It's like, what works? What puts you in this place of feeling like confident in the reading, that you can do a reading for yourself or for someone else, and that it's going to be helpful.
Right. And there's other, kind of goes along with this, there's other aspects to it, such as over the last decade or so, as tarot's been evolving, a lot of people have gotten away from the fortune-telling type readings. Actually, that's been going on for 25 years, or more.
Yeah.
But and that's what I like. I call myself, I don't call myself a tarot reader. I call myself a tarot advisor. I'm a coach. I'm a life coach. I'm helping people get to where they want to go versus this is what's going to happen in the future, and it's set in stone, which we all know that's not true. We have free will. One of the things, though, a lot of the people in the tarot community have been saying, is that you can't take their questions at face value. You can't take the fortune-telling type question. You need to morph it into something that is, quote-unquote, more empowering for the client.
Right.
And I see where they're coming from, but they've taken it a little too far, and I actually rebel against that. I do it 180 degrees the other way around. I take their questions at face value. They ask their question. It's typically yes, no. Will I ever get married? I pull 5 cards. I tell them what I'm getting, and then
Yeah.
I look deeper. I look at what the 5 cards are telling me and get the client actual information that will actually empower them and help them. But I started off with their question at face value, exactly how they asked it. And that's another reason why I like starting with this spread is I can just use it as an informational spread, but it also doubles as a very powerful yes/no spread. And I'm a little bit of a rebel in the way most of the tarot community thinks nowadays.
Yeah, and to me, it's like just the way I started really learning tarot was, reading a lot of Paul Foster Case, and it starts with the question. The question matters, and so, I think one thing you learn if for a lot of people, once they start working professionally and doing a lot of readings for people, you don't always get the kind of questions that you think should be asked, and you don't get the clients that that want that. I'm just doing this for my own personal self or spiritual development. It's like I don't know how many people are out there really wanting to go to a tarot reader for that. I would say I've done over 7,000 readings. I would say probably 1% are interested in getting readings for that purpose. Of being able to be empowered. And I think also it's kind of an arrogant kind of stance, So I think the question, is what the cards are responding to, So it is really important. And however they ask it, to me, it's the essence of what they're asking that allows the cards to give them, information that can be helpful to them.
Awesome sauce. Yes, great stuff. So I think we should move on to the caller lines. It's past bottom of the hours. Do you want to do the upcoming shows and then we'll take some calls?
Yes, let's do it. Time flies when we're having fun, doesn't it? I didn't realize it was that far into it already. So what do we have coming up on the Psychic Talk Radio Network? Well, our next show is going to be tomorrow, Sunday, May 24th at 11 a.m. Pacific. The Magic Universe Show with your host, Sharona Rapsick. She's going to be having open lines and doing tarot mini readings, and her topic is raising your vibrations with essential oils. So that's going to be exciting. And then after that, on Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, it's the Wisdom of the Soul Show with your host, Janice Fuchs. And following Janice at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, the Compassionate Light Healing and Guidance Show with Catherine Hahn. And she's going to be doing a series wrap-up, part 3 of her The Amazing You series. And then Friday, the doctors are in with Dr. Rose Wilkerson and our own very Dr. Dax Carlisle. They'll be taking your calls and giving free tarot mini readings, and they're going to be talking about playing with the law of attraction. That should be interesting. And then you and I, Dax, will be back next Saturday, May 30th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Everybody's going to want to tune into this. We're going to be having one of our Psychic Spin episodes on the Tarot Today show. Dax and I will also be taking your calls and giving tarot mini readings, but the Psychic Spin topic cards give us some answers about, what is going on with it. Can we expect it? What's happening? Because if you're listening to the news lately, it's anybody's guess. Because you hear like a million different things about, yes, we can expect one in a few months. Oh, it's going to take a couple of years. Oh, this person's making progress or that company's making progress. It's all over the map. So might as well see what the tarot has to say about this vaccine. And those are your upcoming shows on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. And to if you didn't write all this down as I was saying it, you can easily find our upcoming shows by going over to psychictalk.net/upcoming.
Great. I'm really looking forward to next Saturday. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I love our Psychic Spin episodes. Those are always fun.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And I'm always surprised by what comes up. I don't know why, but I'm always surprised by the answers we get.
Oh, I know what you mean. I'm surprised too as well, And what goes along with that, I was thinking about that and about, the topic for the Psychic Spin, and I was thinking to myself, they talk all about surfaces and things like that, and I'm thinking about handling tarot cards. That's something else that I want to chat briefly about is, are you cleaning your cards? Are you even doing readings in person anymore? I don't know. But I don't really do that many in person.
How do you clean them without ruining the cards?
I've got some ideas.
Paper.
I got some cool
Yay!
stuff. Yes. I got some cool ideas for that, So, tune in on Saturday. It's going to be a fantastic show next week. We're going to, have the Psychic Spin segment and talk about cleaning your tarot cards. And, this kind of goes along with our topic from weeks back when we talked about spreads. Not spreads, I'm sorry. That was today. We talked about shuffling.
Yeah.
We talked about shuffling the cards, and included in that came up, who shuffles the cards? Does the client, do you, and that was a whole conversation, and that kind of like dovetails nicely into what we're going to talk about next week. Okay, so a bunch of people in the caller queue here. Let's see, who's been waiting the longest? It looks like area code 610 is first up. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Shayna. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Shayna.
Hi, Shayna.
So did you have a question that you wanted us to look at, or did you want to comment on the topic? What can we do for you?
Yeah, I had a question. I wanted to know, I'm getting ready to start school, and I'm trying to get into the nursing program. And I wanted to know, do you see me graduating from it?
Okay. Dex, did you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? What do we want to do? I must know.
I can go.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
I was a little confused at first when she asked the question, because she's like, I'm looking at going into some program. We don't know which one, but am I going to graduate from it? Wait a minute, you don't even know which one. How can we tell you if you're going to graduate? No. It's nursing, but the way she said it, the way she worded it was a little confusing to me, because it sounded like she was saying, I'm looking at going in, one of these nursing programs. Am I going to graduate? Well, wait, we don't know what program. How can I tell you if you're going to graduate from? I'm sorry. These are the things that go through my mind when people ask questions, because it's like, wait a minute, don't we have to
consciousness?
Don't we have to find? Don't we have to find this out A before we do B? I don't know. Oh gosh. Let's see.
Well.
Wow.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I am freaked out by these cards. I'm getting all these fives. Fives are not the good cards in tarot shade. I'm just, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, I can't even put a positive spin on this. I mean, it's not looking too good here. And then we get the Nine of Swords, which is like literally the, being kept up at night, worries and stress, and oh my God, this is not looking very good. We do have 2 major arcana cards that are saying yes, but we have these 3 other cards that are saying no. So it's not like a strong no. It's it's leaning towards no, but when I get these muddled answers, it means that it can go either way. It totally can go either way. If you get 4 or 5 no cards, it's a no. If you get 4 or 5 yes cards, yeah, it's pretty much a yes. But when you get 3 and 2, it really could go either way. It has a lot to do with then, Shana, what you do and the actions you take. So when I say it's leaning towards no, all that means really is that you're on a trajectory right now where it's not going to work out the way you want it to. So you need to change it. You need to go in a different direction. Without doing a 40-minute reading with you, here on the radio, it's really difficult to figure out exactly what that is. It could be a lot of different things. For instance, you're heading down a path where you're going to get into the wrong program at the wrong time. That's going to lead to an unsatisfactory conclusion, and you need to find a different program. It could be your intention going forward into the program. It could be, gosh, what else, Mary? I mean, there's so many aspects to this that could be the reason why it's, leaning in this direction.
Yeah, I have an idea.
Okay, so let's see what Mary's getting, because maybe you have something to give us some positive information, what we can do, with this, morass of stuff that I got in these cards, because it's a mess. Go ahead.
Well, I actually got 3 out of 5 cards were major arcana cards, right? We start with the moon, and then the high priestess, and then the hermit. So I do think that you need some guidance with this, okay? With the high priestess, what is your gut telling you? What is your, inner feeling about this idea of going into nursing? At the center of everything is the 3 of Wands. So I feel like now is a good time to take a step back and kind of really assess why do I want to do this? What do I hope to accomplish? And is it really what I want? And then I think you're going to find someone, or maybe somebody finds you once you kind of, take that moment to kind of step back, that's going to help point you in the right direction, and also show you that there's a lot of options in the way to approach this, maybe more than what we're thinking of. The King of Wands comes up. That could be, it doesn't have to be, but it could be a male, fire sign, person, or someone who has that energy of the King of Wands, where it's kind of King of Wands sometimes can be a little intense, a little bossy, even. But you want to make sure. I feel like the big thing with this is to make sure to look at, kind of all your options, and make sure that you're doing this because this is really what you want to do, not what someone else wants you to do, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I think you need a little bit of help, kind of, some clarity on this whole thing. And then after that, I think, if you want to make it happen, you can make it happen. After the Hermit, I get the Fool card. And again, I was talking about the Fool card earlier, unlimited potential. It's just the one thing that sticks out for me. And then you can take that leap and jump into a nursing program, or maybe some other kind of program that's even kind of related to nursing. But your gut and then getting guidance are going to be the things that really help you to succeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope that helps.
one last thing I want to leave with you is my central focus card is the Hierophant, which is a Major Arcana card. And whenever you get Major Arcana cards, it's major life change. And the Hierophant is a card that talks about academic preparation and also guidance. So it goes right along with what Mary's saying, of seeking out guidance from somebody and spending a little more time thinking about this. The card indicates that you'll definitely be going into some academic preparation program. But it might not be exactly what you're thinking of right now, and that might not even be the right thing for you. So I would think outside the box, get some guidance, talk to a guidance counselor, get some more information, look at, multiple programs before making a decision. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Awesome. Well, good luck with that. Now you're going to have to call back and tell us what
Let
you
us
found
know what happened.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks so much for calling.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, Shada. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And Mary, I didn't mean to be so negative in the beginning, but, when I first looked at those cards, I was like, oh, my God, this is a morass of, can I say it on radio? The S word. And it wasn't hitting me at first. What was really going on here is that, maybe what she's looking at right now is not what she's meant to do. And I don't mean not nursing even, but the exact specialization or medicine in general. Maybe there's somewhere else that her skills are better served, or I just think she needs to spend more time looking at it all.
Yeah.
That's all it is, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome sauce.
I do think, you getting the Hierophant, me getting the as a hermit is kind of really pointing to that, and also, getting some guidance on how to approach it. Mm-hmm. What's a good direction to go into, given what she really wants underneath it all. With that High Priestess.
And that's the limitation of these quick readings on the air. That's why we call them mini readings, because when we do a full reading, and of course you can book with Mary, you can go to psychictalk.net/Mary. My page, the best one to go to is the one on the Tarot Guild site, because my readings are 40% off right now for the spring sale, thetarotguild.com/DAX, DAX. And with a longer session, you delve into all these different areas. Is she really passionate about this particular thing? What would be a better program? You could ask a lot of questions in 40 minutes, an hour, and really flesh it out. We're doing quick mini readings here. It's waiting the longest. It looks like area code 917. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, hello, Dax and Mary. It's Sharona.
Hi, Sharona. Yay.
Hi, Sharona.
How are you?
Yeah.
How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I'm really in this whole time that I'm living and everything. It's funny. I keep getting the Hangman card, and I just always read that as redirection as far as how you're looking at things and just getting a whole new perspective. And so I'm really, I am happy to be alive at this moment in time. I think it's really
right.
It's a really cool time to be here.
Plus,
and I'm enjoying your program.
I was going to say, in the middle of this health crisis, you're in one of the hardest hit areas too, so it must be rough being in New York City.
Yeah, although I'm lucky. The area that I live in actually is very, very. It's a very we have very low, disease in the area that I live in. So it's kind of like I live out in the middle, even though I'm in the middle of the city, it's kind of like living out in the country. So, but everything is shut down, and, I am, changing the way I do a lot of things as a tarot reader and a spa owner and a makeup artist. But I have decided, because I keep getting the Hangman card, which is a card, you see the guy hanging upside down. It's all about kind of like changing your perspective and redirecting everything, and that there's power in that, and just kind of seeing everything upside down, but also that's a good way to look at it. But I'm really enjoying your show about spreads, and one thing that I would add to that is, as far as when you're doing a reading, it's also your intention. You want to get clarity of the question that you are seeking an answer for, either for yourself or for other people. And, what is your intention? Why are you doing this? And like Mary was saying about timing, I do think there is a certain benefit to doing a spread, because with a spread, you are you're following a pathway that has been used traditionally for reaching an answer. So a lot of times I'll do, if it's like a, for a short reading, I think you can get a lot of information out of one card. But I do, and then I think the 3-card spread is good. But you have to know what are, kind of agree with your intuition. The more cards you add, what is it going to mean? So you just can't randomly lay down the cards and then decide what they mean before you lay them down. So if you're going to do, a common thing with a 3-card reading, it's past, present, and future. But you need to know when you're putting them down what they mean. It's all about, directing your focus. And, I agree. The Celtic cross, it is, takes a while to do that, but it is a really good way to lay out the cards, because it is a common pathway to reach an answer. And if you don't have a lot of time, you don't have to read every card that's there, just the ones that are important to your intention. Just one of the things that, has come up with me as someone who's been reading for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, you make some very good points there. And what just popped into my head was, about 8-10 years ago or whatever, I came up with a spread, because I like creating my own spreads, because I'm likely to remember those better, than somebody else's. But I came up with one. I don't know what was going on in my life at the time, but I came up with the Tell Me Something Good spread. And really all you do is you just go through the deck until a card comes up that, like, you feel good about, and that's your answer. That's your card. That's the thing. And it's kind of funny, that can manifest in all different kinds of ways. And then once you find your good card, and that's going to be different for every person, then you look at the card that came up that you drew before it and the card that comes up after it, and you get a context. So I think that it kind of really, to me, it reminded me, because when you were talking about intention, and I thought, wow, that was like one time I created a spread that was like purely about intention. That intention to feel good.
Yeah, well, that's what's important. Tomorrow I'm going to be live on the Psychic Talk Network, and I'm going to be talking about raising your vibrations. You can do that many different ways. You can do it with crystals, or music, or gratitude. But I'm going to be talking about one way in particular, which is using essential oils, where you do it through aroma and that part of your brain. But everything is about, raising your vibrations. And certainly that sounds like a great technique to raise your vibrations, because when you come from that place of, pleasure and happiness, it raises your vibrations and you become a magnet for whatever you want to manifest. So when you feel good, you can bring in more good. And when you think positively, and almost like the hangman card, when you kind of flip it upside down and say, how can I flip this around and make this something good, then you are creating a miracle. That's basically what a miracle is.
Oh, I love that. There's two aromas that no matter what, I feel like always raise my vibration. And it's like a physical, like whole body feeling. And one is Palo Santo, and the other is frankincense. And for some reason, those two, and dragon's blood is the third one, where that works all the time too.
Well, those are powerful, and they, as we were saying with like a Celtic cross, how certain things they create, there's like they've been used so much that it creates the direct pathway to whatever you want. Palo Santo and frankincense, those and dragon's blood, those have always been used to lift people's vibrations, get them thinking more spiritually, and kind of casting out darkness. And, it's, like frankincense, there's a reason why they use it in churches and temples and places like that, because, one, it does cleanse the air, but it creates a vibration when you smell it, and also it has a vibration, and it's a very uplifting and purifying. And Palo Santo is amazing. That's one of I love burning the wood, and I love when I can't burn the wood, I will use the oil in like a diffuser, because you can, it's almost, I don't know, I tend to I've discovered one of my psychic superpowers is that I can see music and I can see fragrance. So you can see, what that aroma or what that smoke is doing. And it's very, it's very uplifting. Some people say you're lifting your prayers and your wishes to heaven, but it's also lifting you out of the mundane, and getting you up there where you vibrate, and you're vibrating higher, and you're becoming a manifester that you are co-creating with the magic universe.
I love that. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, what part of what I do every day is I create sacred space before I do any readings and stuff. And I always, part of that process is cleansing using essential oil. I have a spray of frankincense and myrrh. And I'm like, I guess I'm like old school. I'm going to do the three kings, frankincense and myrrh. And I have this mixture of it that I use all the time. And it does, I feel like it does really help with the process. You do feel like you have now, created your space. I love that.
Yes.
I'm going to have to tune into your show. I love this stuff. I want to raise my
Magic
vibration.
Universe tomorrow, Sunday, same bat time, same bat channel.
Sunday.
That's
so
right.
Did you want us to pull a
course? I'm a tarot junkie.
Okay. I'm just going to pull one card for you, which I never do, but with tarot cards. I don't know why. I just feel like, let's just pull a card for her. She's been having the Hanged Man a lot, sounds like. So maybe there's another one we can give you. And wow, I got the star card.
Oh,
You know,
I love
and
that card.
That
Aw.
just fits for me, for you. You know, it's like such hope and blessings, and it's just got that celestial feel to it. So there you go.
Well, thank you.
I pulled a card
you
too,
so much.
Sharona.
And
What did you get?
I got a good one too. I got the 9 of Cups.
Ooh. Oh, that's one of my favorites. That's the not only that's like
the wish card.
The wish card and wow. Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
So for people
you
listening
just
out
raised
there,
the vibration.
Right.
Don't draw any more cards.
Right.
We can stop right there.
Exactly. Yeah. But for those out there listening, some of the common associations are an assured future, emotional well-being, because it is cups, the realization of dreams. That's why we call it the wish come true card. Gotta love it.
Love it.
Well, thanks for calling in, Sharona.
Love it. Well, thank you. Great show. I'm enjoying it so much.
Awesome. All righty. We'll be tuning in tomorrow for Magic Universe with Sharona, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so if we don't get to your call today, and boy, it's lighting up like a Christmas tree, and we were supposed to have ended actually 6 minutes ago, folks. But if we don't get to your call,
well.
yeah. If we don't get to your call today, remember you can call in and talk to Sharona tomorrow, and she'll pull cards or form of reading for you. She does a lot of different things. Sometimes she just does automatic writing right there on the radio. Okay, so let's see. Who's been waiting the longest? We're going to go to area code 856. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Rosemary from New Jersey.
I didn't catch your name, honey.
Hi.
Can you say it again?
It's Rosemaria.
Rosemary.
Maria.
What can we do for you?
Right.
Rosemaria.
I have a lot going on and seeing what comes up for me next or first. Finances or relationship with a partnership in business. Whatever you can pick up as coming in the next month or so.
So just kind of focus on the next month and see what we see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whose turn is it, Jack?
I'm going to go, I think it's me. So the central focus card, we were talking about the hangman. It just popped up right after Sharona talked about it, and it's the central focus too, adaptability to change, transformation, pausing to reflect, like Sharona said. Person has not been hung. This person has hung themselves upside down on purpose. It's so they can see the world 180 degrees upside down from the rest of us, so they can see things that we're missing. It's like thinking outside of the box. So that's the message that's coming through for you. Now, as far as romantic, I'm getting a lot of really good stuff. First, you got the Ace of Cups, which is the beginning or essence of love, joy, good health, inner beauty. It has a lot of meanings, but especially romance. Oh, that's a good one, right? And then the Page of Cups shows up. So you're going to be getting a message on this pretty soon. And with it being a Cups card, the Page of Cups, you may potentially have an individual who's a water sign coming in, like a Cancer or a Scorpio or a Pisces. So be on the lookout for that. Now, it doesn't have to be someone that's a water sign, but somebody that has perhaps similar qualities, somebody that's gentle, kind disposition, reflective, maybe poetic, maybe quiet and artistic, sensitive, great intuition, things like that. Another common meaning for the Page of Cups is the beginning of relationships. Yeah. So, this is boding really well. And I'm getting a timing card on this within the next 2 weeks is what I'm getting. What about you, Mary?
Cool.
Okay, so it looks
Anything
like
for Rosemary?
romance looks good. Most of the cards that I got are not. They're not about romance at all. This is like I feel like I'm getting what I would consider like a little bit of a warning comes to business ventures, but mainly finances. And I feel like next month you could end up getting some bad advice. So you want to make sure that you get a second opinion. And that's really, all these cards are kind of pointing to that. I've got the Knight of Swords, so the advice could be coming from, somebody that seems really smart, But I feel like make sure before you act on any advice regarding, finances, career, that kind of stuff, that you also take some time to contemplate it before we act, and also get a second opinion, get advice from somebody else as well. So just kind of put a pin in that and, keep that in mind as the next month unfolds.
Cool.
There you go, Rosemaria. Hope that all helped you out.
Have a good weekend, guys, and be safe.
All right, you too. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And
thanks for calling.
Yeah, and call back in. Let us know if that cancer guy shows up. I forgot to mention one thing. Rosemary is still on the line, so I just wanted to say, I forgot to mention it being a page. This person could be chronologically younger than you by a few years or a lot of years. We don't judge. And or if they're, in the same ballpark chronologically, the same age, they might just have a younger, youthful outlook on things. In fact, they could be older than you and have a youthful outlook. But that's generally what's going on when a page shows up. I just want to throw that in there. And let's see. Oh, my God. Switchboard's going crazy here. Let's go to area code 770. They've been waiting the longest. What's your name? Where are you calling from, caller?
Hi. My name is Maddie.
Hi, Maddie.
Hi, Maddie.
Hi, how are you guys?
Where are you calling in from? We're doing great.
Georgia. Atlanta.
Georgia. We get a lot of Georgia calls.
Atlanta.
I don't know. We're getting lots of Georgia calls, and I'm loving it. I don't know.
Georgia.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
No one ever used to call me from Georgia. Now they're calling us from Georgia. Okay. So what's going on with you, Maddie?
Cool.
Just pull a card for me. That would be great.
Oh, sure.
Just pull a card for you?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
you know what? I got something great. Even though I went first last time, I'm just going to jump in here because I got a great card for Maddie. I got the Six of Pentacles. This is one of my favorite cards. When the Six of Pentacles shows up, it is good fortune, and it can mean repayment or sharing or giving, receiving. Typically, it means a windfall financially.
Oh, and I wrote a lottery number out to pay today.
Oh, wow.
Oh, right.
I did. I did.
You definitely have good luck
earlier,
today.
I said when I go out, I'm gonna play this number. Oh,
perfect,
that's
Maddie.
Awesome.
What'd you get for Maddie? Mary?
Maddie, I drew an angel card for you, and it's actually about inner strength. And it's saying that, whether or not, when you logically look at things going on in your life, whether or not you feel like up to the tasks in front of you, whether or not you feel like you can handle something or not, you just need to know that you can, and that maybe you are a lot stronger than sometimes you might feel, and that you've got that reservoir of inner strength that is going to see you through whatever challenges you face.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. I like that. Wow.
So there you go.
Thank you.
So just a reminder from the angels that you got this.
Okay. I am enough. I like that. I got this. I do. I know I do. But I get a little lazy.
We all do. Right?
We all do.
We all do. Like, this I can't.
I get a little lazy. It's like now I want to go out, but all I want to do is sleep too. It's like, am I going to go out or am I going to sleep?
Yeah.
No, Maddie. No. You got to go out and play that
number.
lottery. You got to
play
play
the lottery
because,
number.
we literally had that Six of Pentacles. The good fortune in that area. The luck is on your side. So get out there and play that number.
It's okay. Well deserved.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Now Maddie's going to have to call back in and tell us whether she won or not, right?
Right. That'd be great.
Yeah. Hey, her call gave me a great idea, Mary, is one day, one of these shows, we should do an open line show all show long, no topic, and all we do, pull one card each for each caller. We can go through a ton of calls and give them a quick message coming through. You can use your angel deck and some of your other decks, and I could do the tarot deck, and we can get a mixture of messages coming through from the universe.
Absolutely. And you know what's so funny is that, do you see how all of this kind of works together? Because at one point when Sharona called, she was talking about how you can get a lot of information from one card, which we would all agree with that. But I love the idea of doing that. Let's do that at some point.
We're going to put it on the schedule. I think that's fun. I think it's going to be really, really fun.
It's fun.
We'll promote it a lot. We'll say you got to call in because we're going to be able to go through a lot of calls, and you're going to get this message, be snappy and fun, and we'll never know what's going to come up. Yeah, that would be so much fun. Oh my God.
Awesome.
Wow. Well, let's see.
And reading Palooza.
Yes. Let's see who's been waiting the longest. It looks like area code 408. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Way Busy calling from California.
Howdy.
Hi.
Hi. Sounds like you guys are having a good time over there.
We are having a blast.
Yeah.
We always do on
Saturdays.
I love Saturdays. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
what
just
can we do
to
for?
join in. Well, I'm wonderful and I'm amazing and I'm happening all at once. So where do you see this energy going into the future, and what do you see it doing for me that's going to benefit me shortly?
Right. All this great energy going on, and where's it taking you, right?
Well, it's going somewhere, and wherever it's going, that's going to be my benefit. So I just wanted to see how close am I to my benefits.
Wow.
You go first, Mary.
Well, okay. What's really a couple things are coming up here on this. First of all, the world card. Where's it going to take you? It's like the world is right there for you. But really, to me, what the world card represents a lot of times is this idea of being able to kind of bring everything together. Integration. Being able to kind of, maybe there's different aspects in life or different things that haven't quite gelled for you. I think that that's the thing that's going to be happening pretty soon, and including your love life. Page of Cups comes up with this as well. Six of Swords comes up. That's when we're able to navigate any difficulties or any challenges that come up, and it's going to be smooth sailing ahead.
Wow.
The other card that comes up is the Hermit card. Now, the Hermit card is a great card of contemplation, kind of going within and attaining wisdom. So that's one of the things that this brings you. It's like you're going to be wiser for this experience. Or maybe all this energy is building up so that you can kind of bring everything together and, navigate anything that comes your way. So I think that, you're really in a good position here with all this energy building up for you. Let's see what Dax is getting.
Well, I got the Page of Cups too, and this is hilarious because had the Page of Cups the last time, and then it shows up again, and you got it too. You know, definitely bodes well for any kind of romance coming in. But I think there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. Just from how you, Wade, how you expressed it in the beginning there, that there's all this momentum and energy. I got the Judgment card, which is, I call it the cosmic wake up call card. That you're meant to do something with this, and because you called in asking about it, and the Knight of Swords. So you're ready to rush forward this and do something with it. And what's going on with the Knight of Swords is that swords are thoughts and ideas. So he's latched on to a single idea, and he's running with it. And that's what you're supposed to be doing, because it ultimately leads to the same card that I got for Sharona, the Nine of Cups. It leads to that ultimate fulfillment, an assured future, emotional well-being, wish come true card, literally is what it is,
That's,
you're really, and a lot of positive things happen, when you go forward with a specific thing, but then the rest of your life seems to also start to fall into place when you do that. And so, it looks like the possible relationships coming in and so forth with the Page of Cups is also going to happen at the same time. And I'm just trying to see here. Okay, so I also got the Star card, which is typically a card of hope and faith, inspiration, intuition, optimism. So it's talking about, you called in with optimism, and you need to maintain that and use your intuition going forward as to what you're actually supposed to be doing with this. Mostly, it's like with the Knight of Swords, it's focusing on that single idea. So that's step one, is I think you have multiple ideas, but you need to focus in on one thing. And that is getting to that Nine of Cups. So what does the wish come true look like to you? And then you work backwards, figuring out the steps to get there. What you're really passionate about. You want to tune into what you're really passionate about and run with it.
Yeah, when you say look
back, that's what the
back,
Judgment part's about. Mm-hmm.
So when you say looking back, you mean looking back and seeing my credentials, my abilities?
Oh, well, that's part of it, but that's not what I was saying. What I was saying was you're going to end up at the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is the wish come true card. So what does that look like to you? What's the end result? What is going to make you feel happy, successful, whatever adjective you want to add there, take a pad of paper and start writing that down, right? Every little detail, what you can see, smell, hear, taste, all the senses, get a crystallized idea of that. And then what you do is you work backwards from that. Okay, in order to get there, I need to do this step. And to get to that step, I have to do this step previously before it. And then to get to that step before that, I have to do this step before that. You work it all the way back to now. And that way you break it up into smaller chunks. Yeah. This is what I do with my life coaching clients that want to get to a certain goal. But there's there's so many aspects and steps to getting to that goal that it seems overwhelming. So what you do is you work backwards. It's like, okay, I want to clear an extra $100,000 this year. Okay, well, in order to clear that, it's January now, and in order to clear that $100,000 by December 31st, how much do you have to have made in November and October? And you start working all the way back to now. What's that first step? You get all the way back to the first step, and then you take that first step and you move forward.
That makes sense.
That way you're
that's
you're breaking it up into easier, more digestible, more doable steps to reach the big goal. Yeah. Often what you're actually doing is you're breaking the big goal up into smaller goals. And you tackle each smaller goal. Yeah.
That's what I teach people all the time. You know, I teach them that
same
thing you're saying. Yeah, I say, you know, you got all these little goals, and they're stepping stones until you get to the bigger goal. You know. Yeah,
right.
It's the bigger picture. The bigger picture. You know, you're painting the bigger picture. You're not putting garbage in it. You know, it's a beautiful picture, and that's what you focus on. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you share it with another person that you want to share your dance with. You know, and you don't step on each other's toes, and you paint the bigger picture together.
That's right.
Exactly. And you know, the feeling I get, and I just want to throw this out here, that I think that that other person, that romance part of the equation. I mean, him and I both getting the Page of Cups for that. I feel like you don't have to even like put a lot of energy into that. I think that that's just going to flow into the picture once you get headed on your trajectory, you know. So it's like, don't worry about romance. It's going to happen for you.
Sure. And I agree with that. And I shot my mouth off for a lot of years, you know. And, you know, and,
did that work?
People are going, you know, well, it doesn't seem to help me any, because people are thinking, okay, why don't you bring your expectations down a little bit lower, you know? And I'm thinking, well, that's not the way it works for me, you know.
Yeah. Or sometimes it's just letting go of it. Letting go of the expectation, letting go of the, you know, the putting the pressure on it, because you can't pressure love, you know. It happens.
But never settle.
It's own fruition. Yeah, exactly.
Never
settle.
Yeah, you know, I'm new at this. I have to admit, you know, all my studying and all my everything that I have has yet to been given out to the world yet. It's just been in little tiny pieces here and there, because I'm learning how to speak people's language at their level.
Yeah.
So I have to come down, and I have to realize that, you know, it's not always easy, you know.
Yeah. How do you make it accessible?
Yeah.
Well, we got to go, Wade. We are at the end of the show. We're about to stop live streaming, so we really got to get off here. But thanks for the call.
I
appreciate it.
To you.
Yeah, it was great.
Guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
And I wanted to enjoy the rest of your weekend. And, you know, I just wanted to hit on a couple things real quick. Is, you know, he was talking about speaking the other person's language and bringing this out to the world.
Yeah.
He would benefit greatly from taking a course in neurolinguistics, because that's what NLP is all about. Learn how people talk and communicate, and so you can communicate to them on their level or the way they're communicating. So NLP, Wade. And the other thing is, I love how you hit, Mary, you hit on what I did with the romantic aspect. You know, the first card I got was that Page of Cups.
Yeah.
So, but the feeling I kept getting. Right, but the feeling I was getting and looking at the other cards is that it was talking about something completely different. It was talking about him getting out there, getting his message out there, helping other people, and this relationship thing that we see coming in with the Page of Cups is just going to happen naturally, and he doesn't even really have to put any effort in.
Yeah,
just like you said.
Exactly.
Oh, my God, what a great show.
This was fun.
Totally fun. Can't wait for next week, because it's Psychic Spin. It's typically the last Saturday of the month. And we're going to look at what tarot has to say about a potential COVID-19 vaccine, get some details on that. And we're going to be talking about how to clean your tarot cards and who should handle or not handle your tarot cards and all that. We'll be talking about that. And it's going to be a great show, plus taking your calls next week. If we didn't get to your call today, hey, tune in tomorrow for Sharona's Magic Universe show, and you can call in, and she's a tarot reader as well. You can also call in to Catherine's show on Monday. I'll be back on Friday with Dr. Rose, and back on Saturday with Mary here next Saturday. Thanks to all of our listeners and all our callers. We don't have a show without you, and thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Dax. I had a good time. Have a great
too.
weekend,
Everything
everybody.
flowed today. Yeah. Happy Saturday, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mary.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Good night, John Boy.